So that's the Mini off. Now, I'll eat some humble pie now. The lady with the Mini, she was due to pick it up on... When was she due to pick it up? She was due to pick it up on Saturday, then she cancelled on Saturday, then she was due to pick it up on Monday, and I just didn't hear anything at all. It got to about 6 o'clock on Monday, I still hadn't heard anything at all, didn't have the, she hadn't picked up the car yet. So we'd had 2 missed drop-off points, and I was fuming a little bit, to be honest. I was sort of spitting feathers a bit, because one, I had to keep moving the car in and out and keep it clean and dry. Secondly, obviously I hadn't heard anything from her. And I just wanted to, and I'd stayed late waiting on her to pick it up. But when she told me what the reason was, everything's all forgiven. She's a foster carer, got several children, and the weekend she came in today to pick up the car with a little Ben, tiny little girl who needed emergency placement over the weekend. And she's obviously dropped everything and got that emergency placement. So fair play to you. You've got a total respect for people that do that. I've got no problem with it at all now, and I feel bad for having any frustration about it at all. That's as excuses goes, that's a brilliant one, and I'm entirely happy with that. But yeah, the car's gone off, and we've got her Landcruiser in part exchange, so we're going to have a little look at that. Now, I've never had a Landcruiser. I know they've got a real cult following. They really do hold their value well, don't they? I know they're really well thought of in the Middle East over the Land Rover stuff, for if you are going out in the sticks, and I know same sort of thing in Australia as well. So they've got a real cult following for being absolute machines. This is obviously very, very dirty, and I think before we do anything with it, I think we need to give it a really good clean. It's done a lot of miles, and its MOT does not read particularly nicely about the underside, but the thing with these is they do get crusty underneath. It can all be wire brushed and done. If there's need a bit of welding, it'll be all right, because they're still worth, even with the mileage on, they're still worth decent cash. So we've got an all leather interior. It's obviously a 7-seater, I believe it's 7-seater, yeah, 7-seater. It just needs the mother of all cleans, but again, we can kind of understand why, when she's got 5 or 6 foster children running around the place, cleaning your car is not a priority, and rightly so, it's not a priority. Yeah, I think it's 180 or 196,000 miles. It's 195,000 miles. Now, normally at this age, 2005, 195,000 miles, whatever the car was, it would probably be worth scrap money. But like I said, these are still worth good cash. I think after a clean, the bodywork's going to be actually really good on it, because obviously been used for ferrying around the kids. So that's where it's been getting its punishment. Oh, I missed that. The grill's hanging off. That's actually quite an easy fix though. Yeah, I think it's been getting most of its punishment inside, not on the outside of the car. I actually think after a bit of a clean, and if you machine polished it, you'll be looking really good. Now obviously I'm not going to retail this. I haven't got the time to be doing something like this. It's a bit of a risky sale this age with that mileage on as well. I've got a friend who's mad into these. He loves them. He's a bit of a trader. I messaged him when I took it in for part exchange, and he's got to obviously come and have a look at it first, but I think he'll end up having it. Going to drive it home for sure tonight. I want to have a little bit of an experience with it and see what everybody raves about them, because obviously I drive a Range Rover on a daily. It'll be interesting to see how it compares to a Range Rover of the same age. I've got Range Rover about the same age, haven't I? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they compare. So guys, you know I can't resist it. I've got lots of other things I should be getting on, lots of other cars I should be retail prepping, but let's see what's underneath all of this dirt, eh? I think this car deserves a little bit of treatment, so let's get in there with the wheel acid first, and then let's get cleaning the rest of the bodywork off. Well, there you go, there's a bit of a difference. Even the weather decided I shouldn't be doing it because it absolutely caned it down with rain and soaked me right the way through. But how different does the car look now? The wheels, that is really baked on, that brake dust. I need something stronger than I've got here now to do that. I need some Dragon's Breath and fallout remover type stuff and really let it sit and work it in with a brush. Now normally, obviously, I would spend probably a full day doing this if I was going to retail it, but I just wanted to see how it came up and I wanted it to be clean before I took it for a drive as well, to be honest. Inside, well, look at the transformation, guys. About 2 hours of work this is. Look at the transformation inside. I got so much rubbish out the carpets. Again, I would normally wet clean them if I was doing this for retail. I'd treat the leather with a grey balm, but this is the kind of effect you can have on a car. Spending a couple of hours on it, especially if you're going to part exchange it. It may well be worth doing that, but I think we kind of understand why the lady didn't in this occasion. So yes, my dealer is a very lucky boy that I've done this, because normally dealers' cars, you do not clean at all before they go out the door. They go out the door as they are, unless you're advertising them on a platform for dealers trying to sell them. It looks very smart. I shall be happy having a little drive home in it now, and I shall report back. How I think it drives a little bit later on. I think I'll give the headlights a shot of outro to get them bright again. This is a body job quick headlight clean. If you don't want to sand, you haven't got time to sand, just get a bit of your outro on there. We use this stuff all the time on the channel, don't we? We love it. It's in my Amazon shop, which is a link in the video description down below. There's a link to my Amazon shop which shows all the products I use. You put some of that on your headlights and give them a little wipe off. You can see that it gives you like an instant improvement. Obviously wet sanding and polishing will make the biggest difference, but this gives you a bit of an instant improvement just wiping this on. I probably will wet sand and polish them. Can't help myself. I'd love to spend a full day on this car. So, you know, in my days when I had a corporate job and cars at the weekend were just for flipping for fun kind of thing, you know, I really do enjoy that time where there wasn't the pressure on me to get so much else done. I could really spend the time getting the cars right up there and really improving them. But there we go. Anyway, we'll have a little drive and I'll report back on what I think the drive of this is compared to my L322 Range Rover. So out on the Land Cruiser, quick bit of feedback. I did drive it home last night and I'm driving it back in today, and I have to say it's no Range Rover, guys. Sorry to upset anyone, but it's no Range Rover. It's the engine and gearbox aren't as smooth and as powerful. The ride is a lot more wallowy. It doesn't go through the corners in the same way the Range Rover go through the corners, a bit like a sort of a warm hatch. But what I will say is, for 196,000 miles, it is tight as a drum. There's no rattles, the windows aren't even misting up from bad seals or anything like that. The gearbox changes smoothly, the engine pulls smoothly. I say it's just a little bit wallowy for me. And the interior trim isn't as nice. The interior looks very dated, whereas the Range Rover looks a lot smarter. So I won't be chopping it in for my Rangey anytime soon. But what I am impressed with is the way it's held together for the age and mileage. We're now, what are we, 18 years old? It is now 19 years old with 196,000 miles. And it feels really, oh, it's beeping at me, I don't know what that is, but yeah, it feels really well put together. Well, this is what the Land Cruiser was made for, wasn't it? Flooded road. We're not going to turn around, we're going straight through that bad boy. Here we go. That was deep. So we did of course survive the flood. My thoughts on it, nice truck. I mean, I have to say, for 196,000 miles and for its age, it's really well screwed together. Like I say, no bangs and rattles, gear changes smooth, engine pulls fine. Most of the electronics seem to work. Yeah, it's a nice motor, but I'm sorry, it is no L322. The Range Rover is nicer inside. It handles better. I mean, this, I will say, this does potholes better than anything else. It just absorbs potholes, no problem at all, because it is so softly sprung. But yeah, it just is much wallowier through the corners. The gear change, the power delivery and the gear change on the Range Rover is obviously better. That feels way quicker. I say handles better, changes gear smoothly, inside is nicer. So they're a good truck. And again, like I said, I'm sure that lots of people say, well, you know, the Range Rovers are unreliable. These are cheaper for parts, which it does look like they are cheaper for parts. But again, if we made all of our decisions based on that, then we'd be driving Hyundai i10s around, wouldn't we? But yeah, nice truck. Now we've got my mate coming by to have a look at this in a bit, and we'll see if I can get what I need out of the car, get it gone, get my money in the bank, and move on to the next one. The risk element here is he knows these really well, and there might be something I've missed that's fundamental that makes this worth a lot less money than I think it is, or than I paid for it. That is the risk with not knowing these inside out like he does. That said, I put a TikTok out on this, and I was inundated with inbox messages and comments on the video asking to buy it. No one seems phased about the mileage at all. It is funny how other cars are written off at 100,000. This 196, no problem at all. Some people wanting to export it, some people wanting it sort of up in Yorkshire for obviously to tow stuff around or whatever, I guess. So they clearly do sell. I have just been this morning to look at another automatic 4x4 that are mega popular, but it's a lot smaller than this Landcruiser, so that'll be on a future video. So our Landcruiser has gone. The trader did have it from me. He had a little test drive. He reckons it might need some lower arms on the front, I think he said. He's driven a few more than me, so he noticed some stuff I didn't, and I made a bit of money out of it, and he's got himself a car that he thinks probably the retail on that is probably 5,995, and looking around I think he's probably right on it. So that was the right thing to do. It could get into welding, we never know, and I've got enough nice sort of proper retail stock to keep me going for the moment to be getting involved in that. Yes, all this will be coming up in future videos. We've got all this and all this along here and all this in here, so you can see I'm pretty well stocked with the stuff that normally is good sellers for me. So that was definitely the right move to move on to. It was a nice experience to have a little driving one, but like I say, I'll be happy staying with my L322. Now, since I said that, some people have been saying in the comments on other social media platforms that I'm not comparing like for like, and I should be trying the Amazon against the L322, but look, they look very expensive. You can't get them as cheaply as you can get a Rangey, so I might get the opportunity to try one at some point. Now, don't forget, in amongst all this stock is the Vauxhall Adam that we're currently doing on a raffle, with a portion of the proceeds going to Little Willow's Wish, which is the charity that supports families that have children in hospital. As you can see, it's 2016, it's done about 60,000 miles. It's coming out with it's got an MOT already on it. It's got an advisory, new advisory free MOT we've done on it. We've done a service on it. It's a cracking little car, be a brilliant first car for someone or a family runabout. I made a mistake before and I said tickets were £1. They're actually £2 per ticket. Now, what I'm going to do to make up for that is I'm actually going to put an offer on. If you go into the raffle site on the top right hand corner, there'll be yellow bundle offers. I'm going to put together a buy one get one free offer to make up for getting it wrong. So get in there and get yourself a load of tickets. That'll be a limited time offer. I'll run that for about a week, buy one get one free, to make up for my earlier mistake. Car will come out to you with a warranty on it as well. We'll throw in a warranty, and should you decide that you win and you don't want the car, we will sell the car off and give the proceeds of that to charity, minus the £1,000 we will give you, plus a bundle load of topped on diagnostics equipment. So I'll put a link to the raffle down below. As I said, a proportion of that will also go to Little Willow's Wish, and we're trying to raise as much money as we did last year for charities through these raffles. So as I said, lots of other cars to discuss that have come in, lots of goings on, lots of warranty stuff being going on, some shenanigans with some purchasing, and some shenanigans with some of the cars. So as always, massive thanks for watching. If you want to know what it's like real life car trading, be sure to watch the next one and hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks a lot.